On the 25th of September, 2008, about 50 Somali pirates calling themselves the Central Regional Coast Guard hijacked a Ukrainian cargo ship carrying military equipment. They took 20 crew members hostage, along with 33 T-72 tanks and a cache of heavy weapons. Their demand, $3.2 million in ransom. Since then, dozens of pirate attacks have continued to plague global shipping, route-turning maritime security into a modern headache.
他们来抢东西了啊！抢东西。那这时候知道这是。Finish. I'm bringing you business, not video. Yeah, business. No. Go! No!
You see, cargo ships aren't built for battle. They're massive floating beasts designed to carry cargo snot fire back. So how do they defend themselves when armed criminals approach? And what happens when the pirates don't come from the sea, but from the sky? Why don't these ships simply hire guards or carry guns? Today, we're uncovering the secret and sometimes bizarre defense systems that protect cargo ships from modern-day pirates. And believe me, this is like nothing you've ever seen before. Cargo ships may look massive and intimidating, but when it comes to self-defense, they're surprisingly vulnerable. Unlike warships, they're not armed with missiles or machine guns, and most of the crew, they're engineers, mechanics, or navigators, not soldiers. So how do these billion-dollar vessels defend themselves against armed pirates? They rely on a two-layered defense system, and while it doesn't involve gunfire, it's surprisingly clever. Layer 1, Discouragement. This is the psychological layer. Its goal is to prevent pirates from even trying. First, crews place lifelike dummies around the deck to create the illusion of a full watch team. From a distance, it can look like the ship is heavily guarded. Then there's lasers not to blind, but to disorient. A bright green beam pointed at an approaching boat at night can make it nearly impossible to steer accurately. And finally, the ship might speed up. Pirates rely on small boats that can't easily keep up with a fully loaded vessel moving at full throttle. Boarding a fast-moving ship at sea is no easy task, and often that's enough to make them turn back. Layer 2, Anti-boarding. But if the pirates don't give up, then the second line of defense kicks in. This layer is all about making it physically impossible to get on board. Think of it like an invisible shield of chaos around the ship. This includes high-pressure water cannons, tangled trailing wires that destroy boat engines, razor wire fences, and even sonic weapons that blast ear-shattering noise. Each tool is designed to create confusion, pain, or obstacles buying time and keeping the enemy out. LRAD, the sound weapon pirates hate most. It doesn't fire bullets. It doesn't launch missiles. But when it goes off, pirates panic. This is the LRAD Long Range Acoustic Device, a weapon that uses sound as its ammunition. Mounted on cargo ships, it starts as a loudspeaker used to warn suspicious boats. But if ignored, it unleashes a focused blast of sound up to 160 decibels that's louder than a jet engine and enough to cause pain, nausea, even disorientation. And here's the kicker. Earplugs don't help. Because the sound travels through bone just like bone conduction headphones, for many pirates, that's enough to turn back. But LRADs have one weakness. They're visible and can be shot at. Still, in most cases, they stop the threat before it ever reaches the hull. And if not, well, the ship has something much more tangible waiting next. Water cannons and water curtains. When water becomes a weapon. Water may seem harmless until it's fired at high pressure from a steel cannon. Cargo ships use water cannons not to clean, but to fight. These powerful jets can knock pirates off ladders, flood small boats, or push intruders back into the sea. Some cannons are remote controlled, others fixed spraying continuously around the ship's sides. But the real showstopper is the water curtain. A hose with a weighted nozzle lashes around uncontrollably, whipping water like a flailing beast. It's unpredictable, violent, and nearly impossible to climb through. Get hit by one, and you're dealing with bruises or broken bones. With multiple hoses active, the side of the ship becomes a chaotic wall of water. And unlike bullets, water doesn't run out. It's messy, it's brutal, and it buys time exactly what the crew needs. Because if pirates are still climbing, they're about to meet something much sharper than water. Razor wire and anti-climb barriers. The brutal wall no pirate wants to face. Let's say a pirate gets past the sound, the wires, the water. Now they face something that doesn't just hurt it shreds. Razor wire is wrapped tightly around the edges of the ship layer upon layer of coiled metal blades. Try to hook a ladder? You'll meet steel fang. Try to grab a ledge? Say goodbye to your fingers. But that's not all. Some ships install anti-climb barrier-scurved metal arms that extend outward from the hull. Even if a pirate hooks a rope, climbing over these slick, tilted surfaces is a nightmare. They're designed to make intruders vulnerable exposed to water cannons or simply gravity. No electronics, no tech, just pure physical denial. By the time a pirate reaches this point, they're tired, bleeding, and likely questioning their life choices. And if they still push forward, well, the crew has one final move disappearing entirely. Citadel, the panic room that outsmarts pirates. When all else fails, when pirates are already on board, there's one last move the crew can make. Disappear. It's called the Citadel Fortified Panic Room, hidden deep inside the ship. Once the crew gets inside, they lock down. Steel doors, reinforced walls, independent communication, and air systems. The ship goes dark engine shut off, systems offline. To the pirates, it's a ghost ship. No hostages, no way to steer, no leverage. They can't ransom cargo. They can't threaten the crew. And with a Navy response closing in, they're running out of time. Why don't cargo ships carry guns? If pirates have guns, why don't cargo ships fight back with guns too? Simple answer: law and logistics. Cargo ships travel through dozens of countries, many of which ban firearms on foreign vessels. One rifle on board could mean denied entry, fines, or arrest. And the crew? They're sailors, not soldiers. Handing them weapons creates more risk than safety. That's why most ships don't arm up. They rely on non-lethal tools and strategy instead. When needed, they hire private security teams for high-risk zones. Because sometimes the smartest weapon is knowing when not to pull the trigger. When navies step in, the endgame for pirates. When pirates go too far, the world responds with warships. In 2011, Somali pirates launched over 200 attacks. That's when US, NATO, and allied navies stepped in hunting pirate vessels and escorting cargo ships. In one clash, Pirates fired RPGs at the USS Gonzales. Big mistake. The Navy fired back, burning their boat to the waterline. Because when the ocean turns into a battlefield, the message is clear. Attack global trade and the full force of the world will follow. Cargo ships may not carry guns, but they're far from defenseless. With sound, water, wire, and wit, they fight a silent war across the world's most dangerous waters. Every day, crews sail through risk with nothing but preparation and strategy to protect them. No headlines, no glory, just quiet resilience. Because in this war, the goal isn't to kill. It's to survive, to deliver, to keep the world moving. And that is a kind of strength a pirate can steal.